When I first got the knowledge of self in the early years, I encountered a few brothers that assisted in the birthing of their own babies, a sign that attracted me even more to this culture, knowing that we are capable of doing this for ourselves. In memory of our sister Wisdom Understanding, who also birthed babies in our nation, shared her experience in dealing with this science.
And I still advocate for home births.
Right.
And I've done 1, 2, 3. I done 4 from the same family. I don't know if you know the black family from Medina.
No.
You don't know Black Son?
Oh, I do know Black Son.
Yeah. His last 4 babies I did.
Wow.
At home.
The guard Nal Saeed assisted in the birth of 3 out of 4 of his children.
So I was, with every birth of my children, with the exception of my oldest daughter, I actually helped to deliver. So the first child, our first child, we actually got services with a midwife and a birthing center. Unfortunately, the earth came a little bit early. The baby came a little bit early, and they had a policy of at least 37 weeks, and our daughter came right at 36 and a half. So per their policy, they had to transfer us out to the hospital. Now, because of my background and everything else, I wasn't going to allow anything that I didn't want to happen.
Right.
So when we got up there, we also had the midwife came to accompany us. They were trying all the regular tactics, which is trying to get that money, right? Like, do you want some pills? Are you in any pain? Do you want this epidural? Well, it's going to get worse. That type of stuff, that type of language, real deceptive.
Dealing with the medical establishment can be very daunting, especially when you aren't educated on how things should work. The God and His earth are very vocal on this topic.
Right. So allopathic medicine, the medical system, women's health system in the United States is racist. They racist, and they have very linear thinking. And that in and of itself is a what people may call a microaggression, that you think that is only one way to do a thing. And so that's very white, to think that's only one way to do a thing. It's just, it begins here, it stops there type of thing. And so that's the medical system. And they have their own sets of rites and rituals in which they do, and they think that that's the only way to do it. And so, and it's very textbook. And so if you are, whether you are white, black, Asian, what have you, and you're reading in textbooks, or you're being taught that black people got tougher skin, or black people don't feel no pain, or, different ways in which they are learning about the human body, that they may not never even see a black body until they start practicing on us, and experiencing on us as students and things like that. That's a dangerous place to be in as a black person, period, but definitely as a black woman. And so it's a good documentary that's out now on Hulu called Aftershock, and one of the sisters on there said, basically the hospital system or the birthing system in the United States is similar to, the black woman has to walk in there the same way a black man has to navigate his way when he get pulled over by the police. They're asking black women, are you on drugs? They don't either they want to give you medicine, or they want to dope you up. Either they don't want to believe that you're in pain, or they want to be preemptive in you being in pain in a way that doesn't allow for birth to happen. We in a serious situation when you have doctors that are supposed to be specialized in childbirth, but they themselves throughout their whole training have never witnessed a vaginal birth, a non-medicated vaginal birth. And so if a person is trained like that, what makes you think when you go in there and you're saying, I want to have a birth plan, I got a doula, and I want to have a vaginal birth non-medicated. And this doctor ain't never had that in their whole entire training. Matter of fact, they do things like cut the women for episiotomy so they can learn how to suture. It doesn't mean that that woman even needed an episiotomy, but that's what they do to learn. So that's the system. And amongst other white countries, the United States rank low. So they rank low amongst their own people, and then we as black folk walking up in there. So that's an issue. And then you being black, going in there as a doula, when you're supporting people, you got to deal with the same sort of racism and white supremacist type of ideas, and how they talk and interact with you, even though you're supporting, a client. So it's always going to be a hurdle. Nothing's going to come easy, but we get our W's. We're not going to keep taking L's, but we get our W's.
If Mecca did this.